all that well. It's a tough home run park. Phillies have lost.
A Canadian out of Moncton, New Brunswick, #6 pick of the Cardinals in June of 1988. You see the numbers on him: 4.3 strikeouts per 9 innings. As Harry mentioned, none of these guys walk many batters. Just 1.5 walks per 9 innings pitched.
He was the second best control pitcher in the league last year, behind only teammate Bob Tewksbury. Defensively behind him, Todd Zeal at third base, Ozzie Smith at shortstop, Geronimo Pena at second, and Greg Jeffries at first. Doing the catching is Tom Pagnozzi. In the outfield, Bernard Gilkey in left, Brian Jordan in center field. Langford is on the disabled list, and in right field is Mark Whitten. The umpires tonight: Jerry Davis calling the balls and strikes, Terry Tate at first base, Eric Gregg at second, and Jeff Kellogg umpiring at third. Cleared off rather nicely and cooled off rather nicely after the thunderstorms and showers that we had here prior to the game.
The infield is dry. They had the that movable tarp here on the infield, so the infield is in very good shape. The outfield is soaked, and they have the drain-through turf here, similar to what the Phillies have at Veterans Stadium. The ball will really scoot in the outfield as you look at the famous Gateway Arch to the west here in St. Louis.
I'd like to remind you that Wednesday, June 30th, the Phillies will be conducting a tryout camp in Williamsport, Pennsylvania at Bowman Field at 10 a.m. in Williamsport. Mage McDonald, Jack Pastore, Rob Halladay, and Ken Holtzapfel. All the Phillies scouts will be on hand, so if you want to take a shot at Major League Baseball, the tryout camp is in Williamsport at Bowman Field at 10 a.m. on Wednesday. Cormier 4-4 this year with a 4.54 ERA. As Wheels mentioned, lifetime, he's been a good pitcher against the Phillies. He's 3-1 lifetime with an ERA 2.43. Lenny Dykstra, the first one to face him, hitting at 282. He leads the league in runs scored with 67. One strike to Dykstra.
Not too bad, getting underway about 25 minutes late, considering how hard it was raining here a little while ago. It's really good.
Two quick strikes to Lenny Dykstra.
Phillies will have to hit their way on in this series. You know, they have been having a lot of success this year of walking quite a bit and then getting a lot of key hits. But as Harry mentioned, this pitching staff is not going to walk a lot of batters.
1-2 strikes. Lenny Dykstra is second in the league in walks. John Kruk leads the league in walks. And Darren Dalton is third in the league in walks. So the Phillies have been getting on base with a lot of bases on balls, but against this Cardinals staff, that won't be the case. Dykstra did not get his bat off his shoulder, and he's called out on strikes.
Been getting called out quite a bit on this road trip, too. Dykstra does not strike out that much. And yet he's taken, that's at least 3 times he's had called third strikes on him in Pittsburgh and here in St. Louis now.
It's pause for station identification on the Phil's television network.
You're watching Phillies baseball on WPHL-TV, Philadelphia.
Here's Ruben Amaro. Ruben coming off a great series at Pittsburgh. Since joining the Phils, he is 8 for 14. 1 no strikes to Amaro. All 8 of his hits have come right-handed. He's 8 for 12 right-handed. 0 for 2 left-handed. Drive down the right field line. That's a fair ball heading toward the corner. Ruben will get 2 out of it. A stand-up double for Ruben Amaro, who has really been on a tear.
Most of it right-handed, playing against all these left-handed pitchers the Phillies are seeing on this trip. And what he's been doing is getting pitches away from him and getting a lot of base hits and extra base hits towards right field. That's a changeup from Cormier, down and away, and he hits it to the right field corner.
It'll bring on John Kruk. Krucker hitting at 344, 4th best in the National League. He's been in the throes of a little bit of a slump, though. Kruk has 1 for his last 17. Lifetime, he's never had a hit against Cormier, 0 for 9. The Wizard will take care of that one. Intentionally bouncing the throw. He knew he had time to do it. And that's out number 2. It'll bring up Dave Hollins.
Ozzie Smith having to go to his left. Harry said he knew he had time. Ozzie bounces more balls and throws more balls low than he used to because he doesn't have anywhere near the arm strength that he used to. He'll charge balls more too, but he's still an outstanding shortstop.
Brings on Dave Hollins. Hollins hitting at .288, adding .356 right-handed. Lifetime against Cormier, he's a .294 hitter with a home run. One strike to Hollins. Ruben Amaro at second base with 2 down. No balls and a strike to Dave Hollins. With a fastball, 1-1.
Hollins went to great length this afternoon to thank Dr. Moreau for the surgery performed on him, along with Dr. Culp, and the rehabilitation with Jeff Cooper and Mark Anderson, how much they helped him. He knows he's not the easiest patient in the world.
Just missed a little bit high. It's 2-1.
And here they are this afternoon. That's Dr. Phil Marone with the big grin looking on. Darren Dalton behind him as Hollins hit some balls pretty hard there, and that made Dr. Marone feel real good about it.
What was supposed to be 4 to 6 weeks has become 2 weeks. He pops a foul. Pagnozzi giving chase, and great catch, sliding into the Cardinal dugout to retire the side. What a play by Tom Pagnozzi, sliding into the dugout and made the grab. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left. After 1/2, Bills nothing. Cardinals coming to bat.
31 years of age, former #1 pick of Kansas City. 4.7 strikeouts per 9 innings for Jackson. 3.8 walks. And there you see the numbers on him. He has pitched very well for the Phils this season.
Defensively behind Jackson, Dave Hollins at third, Mariano Duncan at shortstop, Mickey Morandini at second, and John Kruk at first. Darren Dalton catching in the outfield from left to right. It's Pete Incaviglia, Lenny Dykstra, and Ruben Amaro.
Happy anniversary tonight, number 51 to Joseph and Nettie DeMeo of Northeast Philadelphia, and happy birthday to Chick Mumman of Pensauken, 79. There's Pagnozzi on that great play he just made. He goes into a slide intentionally here to prevent injury. See Red Shandy's telling him he's out of room. There he goes into the slide, and I don't think he thought he was that close.
Wow.
Down the dugout steps, and he's okay. Terrific play by Pagnozzi, who recently came back from knee surgery.
Bernard Gilkey leads it off. He's hitting at .311. Gilkey's been a tough out for Danny Jackson. .474 his career average against Jackson.
It's been a tough out for a lot of people lately. The Cardinals' resurgence, one of the reasons is Gilkey has been very hot at the top of their lineup, picking up a lot of extra base hits.
Two quick strikes to Bernard Gilkey. Danny Jackson lifetime against St. Louis is 1-4, lost 5. Career ERA of .421. Off the end of his bat foul. No balls and 2 strikes to Bernard Gilkey.
Gilkey, a native of St. Louis, a guy they had a lot of hope for a few years and really hasn't blossomed the way they thought. And now they think maybe he's starting to fulfill the promises they held for him.
It to right field, fair ball going all the way to the corner, and Gilkey will get 2 on it. A stand-up double for Bernard Gilkey, his 20th two-base hit of the year.
Well, he now has 10 doubles in his last 12 games for, as Harry said, a team-leading total of 20. It's a fastball out over the plate, and Gilkey goes kind of like what Ruben Amaro did, just trying to go the other way with it and gets himself an extra base hit.
That'll bring up Ozzie Smith. Ozzie hitting at .274. Batting .342 right-handed.
Ozzie hardly ever swings and misses or strikes out. So he's very good at moving runners in this kind of situation.
They're trying to move him with a bunt. Kruk fields. And Kruk missed the tag. Ozzie Smith eluded the tag, and it's safe all around. Cardinals have runners at first and third and nobody out.
Well, you see, he does miss the tag here. They were waiting on a call. He just leaps right past Kruk, who doesn't tag him. And the home plate umpire motioned fair, Jerry Davis. Then he looked at Tata for the call. You'll see right here well, you can't tell, but there he gives the call. Tata gives the call because the home plate umpire, all he did was say fair.
So Ozzie will get a bunt single, and the Redbirds have runners at first and third, nobody out for the hot-hitting Greg Jeffries. Jeffries batting at .331, but this month he's hitting a lusty .458.
Well, a lot of people predicted he'd have a big year here in St. Louis because the pressure's off him, and this is a great ballpark for him to hit in.
They say he's done a good job at first base. May have found a position. His problems were never offensive. They were always defensive.
Bucky Dent, the third base coach, threw the signs right. And now that he's at first base and comfortable and playing well there, he doesn't have to think about his defense. He's always been kind of a poor thrower. He doesn't have to worry about throwing that much.
Ozzie Smith goes, and it's off the tip of the glove of Duncan. Gilkey scores. Heading for second base, and safe there is Jeffries. With a double, still nobody out, and St. Louis leads 1-0. Duncan was covering on the play, and Jeffries just slung it to the spot vacated by Mariano Duncan.
Cardinals are a really hot team right now. They're doing a lot of things right. Duncan's better off if he doesn't even touch that ball. Of course, you know, he has to go after it, but once he tips it like that. Now, Incaviglia has Jeffries at second with a good throw. He makes a poor throw. So the Phillies are not playing real well starting out this ball game.
One run in, runners at second and third, and nobody out for Todd Zeile. Zeile hitting at .247. Has just one homer. He has knocked in 31. 1 ball and no strikes. One thing the Cardinals do and have done over the years is put the ball in play.
And it doesn't matter who's on their club either. I mean, this club has changed a lot, and they still have a lot of contact hitters.
2 balls and no strikes.
Phillies are conceding a run in this situation. They're just trying to stay away from a big inning. They have the infield back with the exception of Kruk, who's up at first.
He tops it. That's going to be trouble. Jackson lets it roll. Wisely foul. Heads up play by Danny Jackson, because that was going to be another one of those infield hits for St. Louis. We talk about them being contact hitters, and they do put them in play. They get a lot of funky hits with their hits.
Here's their 4-hole hitter hitting a funky hit too. As you said, Jackson makes the right play. I mean, there's no play on that. Another runs in. Runners at first and third if he fields this. Good thinking by Danny Jackson. You see him yell here and keep Hollins away from it.
2 balls and a strike to Todd Zeile.
Get well wishes tonight to Robert May in Reading Hospital.
Fouls it straight back. 2-2 to count to Todd Zeile. side with it. It's a full count.
There's Mark Whitten on deck, who's done a good job originally with Toronto, then with Cleveland, coming over here in a spring training deal and taking over right field for the Cardinals. He's a switch hitter.
Fouls it down the first base side. Still 3-2 to Zeal. Ozzie Smith, the runner at third base. Jeffries at second. Nobody out. A run across. Still nobody out here in the first inning. Johnny Padres will come out and have a talk with his starter, Danny Jackson. 9 homers. He's knocked in 39. Check swing foul. 1 strike to Whitten.
Phillies are playing at double play depth and would gladly give up a run here to get 2 and try and stay out of that big inning. There's their infield.
Strike. Coming over from Cleveland in the deal that sent pitcher Mark Clark to Cleveland. Beats that ball foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Bases loaded with Redbirds with nobody out. 1 run across here in the first inning. Bouncing ball. Mickey Morandini will turn the double play on a good scoop by Kruk. Low throw, but a good scoop by John Kruk. Coming in to score Ozzie Smith. No RBI for Whitten, but they got 2 outs. And it's 2-0 St. Louis.
Morandini takes an extra step, leans forward a little bit, and then throws it in the dirt. And as Harry said, that's a terrific play by Kruk. See, right there, he has momentum going in a direction where he's going to have trouble getting anything on the throw. And Kruk bails him out, and the Phillies get the best they could hope for out of that.
Brings on Brian Jordan. He's hitting a .205 since being called up from Louisville. He started the season with St. Louis, struggled, was sent down, and been hitting well since being recalled.
Brian Jordan, another one of those defensive backs from the Atlanta Falcons who's decided to play baseball, along with his former teammate Deion Sanders.
He's hitting .375 at Louisville with 5 homers and 35 RBIs in 38 games. Up here filling in for Ray Langford, who's on the disabled list. The Cardinals find center fielder.
Looks like he's gone to a crouch. We see him a lot because of all the games the Phillies play the Cardinals in spring training. I don't remember him having his knees bent the way that he is now. Whatever has happened to him, it certainly helped. Look at this crouch he's in. Very strange stance.
Yeah. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
It's almost as if he's trying to get into something, Harry, to prevent him from overstriding. You know, when you see hitters with their legs spread that way, it's because they're jumping out too fast. Look how spread he is with his knees cocked.
Very unusual. Two balls and 2 strikes to Jordan.
Jackson early on is having a lot of trouble with his slider.
Padres and John Vukovich. Fouls it down the first base side. Still 2-2.
Send birthday wishes along tonight to Jerry Staliker, 56 years of age, from Avalon. Down there with his wife Barbara. Got a nice letter from your father. Jerry wanted to wish you a happy birthday along with all of us here at the Phillies.
Full count to Jordan. Jordan's 26 years old. University of Richmond product. Geronimo Pena's on deck. Fouls it. First base side. Truck near the stands. Will run out of room. Still 3-2 to Brian Jordan. St. Louis has scored 2 here in the first inning. Weather's cleared nicely here. Should have no further problems. Walk in. Second walk in the inning surrendered by Danny Jackson, and the batter will be Geronimo Pena. Pena's hitting at .258, but he's been a lot better hitter right-handed than left. .344 right-handed, just .214 left-handed. And against Danny Jackson, he's 3 for 4 lifetime.
Luis Alicea has been playing a lot against right-handed pitching. Alicea's switch hitter has 93 at-bats from the left side, so they've been doing some platooning with these two. Oquendo's the odd man out now for them.
1 strike to Geronimo Pena.
Oquendo for a long time was one of the best extra men in the league. There's Jose. And then he became a regular, and now he's back to being an extra man. He doesn't like it, but he's very good in that role because he can play a lot of positions well.
Gave Ozzie Smith a rest yesterday at Shea Stadium, and Oquendo played short. Bouncing ball to Morandini. Pena's retired. So are the Redbirds in the first, but they scored 2 in the inning on 3 hits. No Philly errors. 2 men left after 1. 2-0 St. Louis. 1 inning of play at St. Louis 2 and the Phillies nothing. Upcoming Phillies telecasts include tomorrow night's game at 8:30 on PHL 17 and Wednesday night's game on Sports Channel also at 8:30. Cardinals have taken a 2-0 lead here as we move to the second inning, and Darren Dalton will lead it off for the Phils. Dutch hitting at .257. 4th in the league in runs scored, 3rd in the league in walks, 3rd in the league in RBIs with 59. Matt Williams leads the league in runs batted in, but Matt will be shelved until after the All-Star break with an abdominal problem. Williams on the disabled list. Barry Bonds is second with 60 runs batted in, then Dalton with 59. Dutch is 6th in the league in slugging percentage, 8th in the league in on-base percentage. Lifetime against Cormier, he's just 1 for 7. Phillies don't have anybody really who has hit this left-hander well. Dave Holland's the best at .294. Two quick strikes to Darren Dalton. Inside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Bouncing ball to Jeffries. He'll make the play himself. Dalton is out, 1 down. That'll bring up Pete Incaviglia. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Phillies and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form without the express written consent of the Phillies. Incaviglia batting at .280. 12 home runs. He has knocked in 51. He's just 2 for 12 lifetime against Cormier.
Well, now when you get a right-handed batter up there, you'll see Cormier throw more change-ups. He doesn't throw a whole lot of the change-ups to the left-handed hitters.
A high drive into deep right center field, but it'll stay in the park. Jordan makes the catch at the warning track. That's 2 down, and that'll bring on Mariano Duncan.
They brought in the fences here last year. It's a little easier ballpark to hit a home run in, but still a tough one because the ball doesn't carry real well here in St. Louis. But they brought him in about 5 feet. They lowered the walls. There you see out there. You can leap up now and pull a ball back. And they planted those geraniums all around the outfield wall out there, and they look real nice.
Here's Duncan batting at .247, 6 home runs. He's knocked in 29. Dunk 2 for 11 off Cormier. Lifetime. Takes a strike. Chases a high fastball, nothing in 2. Has pitched ahead of every hitter so far tonight. Just missed. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Mariano Duncan.
What he's done so far too is pitch inside to both sides, to both right-handers and left-handers, and that will make him more effective. Doesn't throw real hard, but he has that real good control.
A changeup struck him out. Second strikeout for Cormier, and the Phillies are down in order in the second. No runs, hits, errors, and none left. We go to the bottom of the second. Cardinals lead the Phils 2-0.
The fighting Phils head into the Midwest to do some bird hunting as they take on Ozzie Smith and the rival St. Louis Cardinals tomorrow on PHL 17. The Cardinals are out to make a run at the first place Phils, but Lenny Dykstra and the boys are going to send these red.
Tom Pagnozzi leads it off for the Cardinals here in the second. Pagnozzi batting at .231. It's always hit Phillies pitching well. A lifetime .302 hitter against the Phils.
You almost play him like a left-handed pull hitter too, because he's an opposite field hitter. Duncan's shading him up towards the middle, and the outfielders around towards right center on him.
And he hits the ball right to about where Dykstra was playing him. 1 down. That'll bring on Rael Cormier, the pitcher.
Pagnozzi rarely pulls a ball unless you throw him something off speed and speed up his bat. He waits on the ball and tries to go the other way with it.
Cormier is hitting at .182 this year. All of his hits singles. 1 out, no base runners here in the second. Cardinals lead at 2-0. Strike to Cormier. Missed inside, 1-1. Bouncing ball to Mickey Morandini. Cormier's retired. That's 2 outs, and that'll bring up Bernard Gilkey.
Chuck, Ben, and Al Holcomb all from the Philadelphia area here at the game tonight. Al has worked at the Delaware County Daily Times for 40 years, a former Dreamweaker.
When the Phillies return off this trip Friday night, a doubleheader against San Diego. Don't forget at 4:35. Saturday, a single game at 7:05, followed by great fireworks shows by Jerome. Friday night at Twin Bill with San Diego, and then Saturday night a single game and fireworks after the game. For tickets, call 463-1000. Lenny Dykstra puts that one away. A 1-2-3 inning for Jackson in the second. No runs, hits, errors, and none left. We go to the third inning. 2-0 St. Louis. Our trivia question tonight. There have been 3 three-time MVPs in the National League. Can you name the 3? Mickey Morandini will lead it off for the Phils. Send along our best to Elizabeth Culp. Betty Culp, great Phillies fan from Cape May Courthouse, New Jersey. Her son Daniel at the game tonight. Wishes she were here with him. Our best to Betty Culp. And Dr. Andrew Rubin from Broomall is here, sending along his best to all the great Philly fans. Morandini batting at .246 in the last 28 games, though he is hitting at .312. And there's another hit for Mickey Morandini, who has been mixing in hits against left-hand pitching, right-hand pitching. He's really been on a roll. Morandini, a leadoff base runner with the Phil's second hit off Cormier. And they'll bring up Danny Jackson, who will be up there to try to bunt him along. Cardinals lead 2-0. We're in the third inning. A lob toss to first base. Missed on the bunt attempt. No balls and one strike to Danny Jackson.
This is one of those series, too, where little things are going to mean a lot, because the Cardinals are a team that scratch out runs. And sometimes you just have to play their game with them. And to stay competitive with them, you have to do that, too, because they have very good pitching.
Got the bunt down nicely. Only one play for Cormier. A low throw, but dug out by Pena. Sacrifice is good. It goes Cormier to Geronimo Pena for out number one, moving Morandini to second base.
Well, here you see the bunt, and it's a good one by Danny Jackson. Just puts it right out in front of the plate, deadens it. Now Cormier takes a lot off the throw and just kind of lobs it over there. And as Harry said, that's a fine play by Pena. That could have been a lot of trouble for the Cardinals.
Brings on Lenny Dykstra. He was called out on strikes his first time up.
Geronimo Pena, the Dominican Republic.
Morandini at second base with one down. Bouncing ball chopped to Pena. And he retires Dykstra on the play. Morandini moves up to third.
What's happened in this problem the Phillies had with the Pirates over the weekend and early in this game is the left-handed hitters are having trouble with the left-handed pitchers, and the Phillies, some people feel are vulnerable to left-handed pitching, and for the most part this year it hasn't worked out that way, but in the last few days it has shown itself a little bit.
So all left-hand pitchers in the Pittsburgh series, and 2 out of the 4 will be lefties in this series. Ruben Amaro doubled his first time up. Inside corner for a strike, 0-1.
One guy's been getting quite a bit of hits off left-handed pitching is Morandini.
Almost hit him.
That's because Amaro is diving into the ball so much, looking for it away. So Cormier's come inside and then further inside to get him off the plate. Cormier likes to work away to right-handed batters, and this is his way of trying to get a little bit of more home plate for himself.
1 ball and 1 strike to Ruben Amaro. Fouls it out of play. 1-2. Cardinals lead it 2-0 here in the third. field side into the crowd.
He shook off changeup and then went with a fastball inside, and Amaro was looking for a ball away and kind of jammed himself a little bit, fouled that ball off. You see a lot of red in the stands here when you come to this ballpark. Great baseball city.
Yes, it is. Two balls and 2 strikes.
After he got that hit the first time up away, they have really pitched him inside in this at bat. Now you see from Pagnozzi whether they're thinking about going away from him or not. So far in this at bat, they go change up, breaking ball. He's going to go breaking ball to him.
High with it. It's a full count. John Kruk waiting on deck. Morandini at third base with 2 down. He walked him. So Amaro gets a rare walk from Cormier, putting Philly runners at first and third for John Kruk.
He pitched Kruk Amaro that time as if he were more worried about him than he is about Kruk, because he threw him a 3-2 changeup to walk him.
Kruk's looking for his first career hit against Cormier. He's 0 for 10.
And Amaro hurt him his first time up. Well, that had been Amaro's first hit off him in 8 at bats.
Outside corner for a strike. No balls and 1 strike to John Kruk. He grounded it short his first time up. No balls and 2 strikes.
Threw him a changeup that time. Down and in, and Kruk just swung over it. Really fooled by the pitch.
Upstairs with a fastball, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Philly runners at the corners of first and third with 2 outs. It down the left field side. Stays a ball and 2 strikes.
Cormier shook off Pagnozzi. Then Pagnozzi wanted a breaking ball. Cormier wanted the fastball away again. It's almost as if Cormier is trying to set Kruk up to come back inside. No, he wants fastball away. He shook off 3 pitches to get to it.
Bouncing ball to Ozzie Smith, who makes the tag of the bag at second, and that will retire the side. In the third, got a bunt single his first time up when John Kruk missed the swipe tag. And he scored a run. Our trivia question tonight: there have been 3 3-time MVPs in the National League. Can you name them? Ground ball tapped to Morandini. And Mickey throws out Ozzie Smith. That's 1 down. It'll bring up Greg Jeffries.
Well, unfortunately, 1 is easy because he's been in the news so much the last couple days, and that was a great Roy Campanella.
Right.
And Michael Jack was a 3-time MVP.
Michael Jack in 80, 81, and 86.
And trying to read our producer director Ray Tipton's mind, being in this city, Stan the man.
You got it. Stan Musial, 43, 46, and 48. 1 strike to Jeffries. He doubled his first time up, knocking in a run. 2 quick strikes to him. Jeffries, of course, has been with the Mets in Kansas City before coming here. Seems like he's been around a long time. He's only 25 years old.
There has never been any doubt that this guy is going to be a great offensive player. And it was always a matter of his defense kind of held him back, and I think the situation in New York held him back also. This is just a great place for him to play.
High fly ball, center field. Lenny Dykstra right there. Jeffries is out. That's 2 down, and that'll bring on Todd Zeile. Danny Jackson has settled down since that first inning.
Big play for Danny Jackson the first inning was to get that bases loaded double play ball. 2 runs in already, bases loaded, nobody out, or 1 run in, nobody out. Gets a double play. It could have been a real big inning.
Zeile walked his first time up, takes one low for a ball. Duncan throws out Zeile, and that will retire the side. No runs hit there, and none left. Rich Ashburn will join Chris Wheeler in the 4th at the end of 3. 2-0 St. Louis.
See Davey back. No matter what he does, he'll help the ball club. I would be surprised if it doesn't take him a few at-bats, Wheels, to kind of find his stroke, because he did miss a couple of weeks.
Popped up his first time. Pagnozzi, the catcher, made a great play as he caught the ball as he slid into the Cardinals' first base dugout. So Holland's 0 for 1. Dave at 287. It's 2 weeks ago tomorrow that he was operated on. He's back already. Gets out front, beats it foul third base side. Fielded by Mike Ryan. Collins has yet to have a play at third, so we haven't seen him throw yet. Collins, Dalton, and Cavilla to face Real Cormier. A ball and a strike on Hollins. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors for the Cardinals. No runs, 2 hits, no errors for the Phillies in the 4th. Big 4-game series here at Busch Stadium. Game number 1 tonight. Collins hits another pop-up. This is down the third baseline. Zeile in foul territory. Grabs it, 1 away. So Hollins has hit 2 foul pop-ups in his first 2 at-bats. And Darren Dalton, the hitter, he grounded out his first time up to the first baseman Jeffries. Sunday, July 4th, a rare Sunday night game at 8:05. Phillies and the Padres. And it will be helmet night. Official-looking Phillies batting helmet, red with the Phil's P on the front. So come on out. We'll see you down there. Call 463-1000. Independence night at 8:05 with the Padres. Cormier with fastball, breaking ball, changeup. Basically a 3-pitch pitcher. Good location. Has walked 1. Struck out 2 thus far. Dalton tops another one to first. And there's Jeffries. He runs to the bag. So Dalton has hit 2 almost identical balls to the first baseman Jeffries. 2 up and 2 down here in the 4th for Incaviglia. Flied out deep to center his first time up.
Most of the hitting on this road trip has been done by Amaro and Morandini, and they've done a great job getting on base.
Yeah, the big guys, the Daltons, Crux, Dykstra, have not been swinging the bats real well, especially against all these left-handed pitchers the Phillies have been seeing. Cavilla hit one to deep right center his first time up. There's Ruben Amaro, who's done a great job since coming up from Scranton Wilkes-Barre. He has a double and a walk in the ball game tonight. Cavilla to deep left field, fair or foul. It is a fair ball.
Ooh.
Upper deck home run for Pete Incaviglia. What a bomb that was. Look at his teammates on the bench wondering, where did that thing go? For Incaviglia, his 13th home run of the year, and now it's 2-1 Cardinals.
Not many people hit him up there.
Telling.
Upper decker, above that restaurant they have in the press level. Saw Richie Allen one night hit a line drive against that window in front of the press level. One of the Cardinal fans threw that ball back a la Chicago Cub. He won't hit it any better than that. He knew it.
Yeah, he knew it.
Whoa, that's about 3 or 4 rows back up
it was
there.
way up in that upper deck. The ball had some hook to it, and that's where we were waiting. It turned out it was, well fair. Ground ball to Ozzie Smith. It's short. He's going to throw out Duncan, but the Phillies get back in the ballgame with a run here on Incaviglia's mammoth home run to left field. 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left. 2-1 Cardinals to the bottom of the 4th. Here's Mark Whitten to lead it off, followed by Brian Jordan and then Geronimo Pena. Whitten, a switch hitter. Breaking ball for a strike. He was a key hitter for Jackson in the first inning, Whitey, with the bases loaded, a run in, nobody out.
Double play, and Kruk really made a good play at the end of that on a low throw.
Whitten, from watching him, appears to be quicker left-handed. He is probably the best throwing right fielder now in the National League. He and Larry Walker pretty close. Whitten might be just a little better. Here's the 1-1. We used to see him a lot in Clearwater when he was with the Toronto Blue Jays, and he always looked like he was going to be a pretty good player. He then moved on to Cleveland and now here to St. Louis. Strike 2 call. Whitten thought it was outside. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. He can't get there. He blocks it nicely, and he'll keep Whitten at first base. The ball really scoots on that wet AstroTurf. Ruben made a good play on that to keep him to a single.
Got the ball out away from him and high. Jackson has thrown 2 pitches like that tonight, and they both cost him. A double by Gilkey to lead off the game on a pitch up and away, and that single by Whitten up and away.
2 right-handed batters, both going with the pitch away. Brian Jordan, the batter, he walked his first time up. This could be 2 to Duncan, to Kruk, and they turn to double play. Second double play turned by the Phillies. 1-6-3. So quickly 2 out and nobody on base here in the 4th for Pena.
I think Jackson has settled in a little bit. A perfect double play ball. That one bouncer back to Jackson.
Danny Jackson is a good athlete too and fields his position very well.
Duncan a good throw. Jackson had some bad luck in that first inning. Kruk should have made the out on the bunt by Smith. That cost him a little bit.
Then that funky hit Jeffries got.
Double play, hit and run double play ball that pulled Duncan out of position.
It's a 2-1 game if you're just tuning in. The Cardinals lead it. We're in the 4th. The Cardinals 2 in the 1st, and then Incaviglia's mammoth upper deck home run in the 4th inning to get the Phillies on the board. Breaking ball, and he swings and misses. 1-2 now on Geronimo Pena coming into the game. 344 from the right side. A 214 hitter left-handed. Grounded out to Morandini his first time up. Two outs and nobody on base. Breaking ball, and he missed with it. And it's 2-2. The on-deck batter is the catcher Pagnazzi.
Norman Stout in Mercerville, 73 today.
2-2 pitch on the way. There's a base hit to right field just over the head of a leaping Morandini. Fielded by Ruben Amaro, so the double play comes in handy in this inning as the Cardinals have their second base hit of the inning. And here's Pagnazzi fly to Dykstra his first time at bat. Let's pause for station identification on the Phillies television network.
You're watching Phillies baseball on WPHL TV, Philadelphia.
Pagnazzi, the first pitch to him on the way, and he beats it foul off his hip.
Abe and Rosalie Gold, married 57 years today.
I like the way you come over here and start pulling them out of your pocket like a magician, like a rabbit out of a hat.
Well, these folks write these announcements, and I guess most people don't mind them too much.
Wouldn't think so. A little step-off move there by Danny Jackson, who's been working on that under the tutelage of the master, Terry Mulholland. Pagnazzi swinging the bat well since coming off the DL. Geronimo Pena, pretty good lead. He doesn't go. The pitch to Pagnazzi, rips it foul third base side. When the Cardinals were in Philadelphia back in May, Pagnazzi's knee was really bothering him at that time, and he finally underwent arthroscopic surgery, came off the DL in Chicago and has played well. Joe Torre's always been a big Pagnazzi fan. Torre's the guy who took Zeal from behind home plate, made him a third baseman, put Pagnazzi behind there as his everyday catcher. The 0-2 pitch inside, 1-2.
Ordinarily, we might see Pena steal a base, but he's been nursing a little bit of a hamstring. He's stolen 11.
Been caught 4 times. Cardinals still run, but nothing the way they used to when they were known as the running Redbirds. Greg Jeffries leads them with 19. Pagnazzi likes the ball away, and the Phillies play him away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Dykstra shaded well over into right center. There you see the infield defense and Dykstra. And also Amara well over and right and shallow as he's being positioned by the dugout. John Vukovich telling him what to do. There goes Pena, and it's fouled away. But Pena running for the first time on the 2-2 pitch.
Nobody covered on that steal attempt. Both second baseman and shortstop held their ground. With their pitcher coming up next, you know, I don't think they're all that worried about the steal.
And 2 outs. There's Duncan. Well, a lot of times you cover with a shortstop on Pagnazzi because he hits the ball the right side so much. 2 balls, 2 strikes on the catcher. Pena does not go. And it's outside and a full count on Pagnazzi, so Pena will be off. Kruk will play off him as he tells Jackson he won't be there. And Cormier waits on deck. Jackson has walked 2. He hasn't struck out anybody yet. The runner goes, and the pitch is inside. Jackson wanted it, doesn't get it, and it's walk number 3 issued by Danny Jackson. The Cardinals with runners at first and second with 2 outs for the pitcher. Had him 0-2 and lost him. Cormier, a lifetime 147 hitter coming into the game. 0 for 1 tonight, a ground out to second. Jackson gave up a base hit, then a 1-6-3 double play, then another hit to Pena, a walk to Pagnazzi. 2 on and 2 outs, and now 1-0 on the pitcher Cormier with Gilkey on deck.
Johnny Padres a little concerned.
Because Larry Boa taking a walk. You'll see him do that a lot when these situations occur. See Padres encouraging Jackson. He needs to get the pitcher out. Certainly don't want to go to the top of the order. Looked like he was going to have an easy inning after the double play. 2-0 now to Cormier. Ball 3. That says it all. Cormier obviously will be taking a pitch here, maybe two. Gets it over, but just barely.
Yeah, I think
that was borderline.
Probably a little outside.
You may not get that one again. 3-1. Same spot.
Same spot. Must be a good place to throw.
Throw it again. Now the runners will be off. Pena from second. That's Gilkey on deck. Pagnazzi from first. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Cormier with 2 outs. There are the base runners. And here we go again. Line drive left field. That's a base hit. Scoring easily is Pena, and it's a 3-1 game as Danny Jackson gives up the hit to Cormier. His first run batted into the year.
Cardinal pitchers have really been helping themselves, though. And notice Joe McGrain with a big hit against the Mets. Tewksbury, a big hit against the Mets to knock in a run. Was a pretty good pitch, down and away. He just kind of reached out there and slapped at it. And with a runner going, no chance for a throw to the plate.
Well, bad run to give up. You could come back in the top of the inning, get a long home run to get the 2-1, and then 2 outs, nobody on base, and the Cardinals wind up with a run with a base hit by the pitcher with 2 outs, and for Gilkey, who's doubled and scored and fly to center. Up high, ball 1 on Bernard, the St. Louis native. Gilkey leading the Cardinals outfielders in assists with 7. And all of a sudden Jackson's wild. Walk Pagnazzi, 3-2 on Cormier, now 2-0 on Gilkey with Ozzie Smith on deck. Gilkey to right field. Amaro is there. To his left makes the play, and that'll do it for the Cardinals. Will follow, and then the top of the order in Lenny Dykstra. There's Jackson. He will bat second. By the way, the Cardinals had 3 hits in the 4th inning and now have a total of 6 in the ballgame. 3 in the 1st, 3 in the 4th. Bucky Dent and Joe Torre looking on. Cardinals have been a red-hot team. They've won 8 out of 10, 12 out of 15, and 16 out of 20. And the Phils will be back this Friday for a twilight doubleheader beginning at 4:35 with the Padres. Fireworks to follow. Saturday fireworks after the 7:05 game, and then Sunday night at 8:05. The Dodgers for 3 night games at 7:35. Then the Giants for a big weekend series. Mesh Jersey on Sunday, July 11th. Morandini 1 for 1 in the game, a single in the hole to right. First pitch is over. Mickey now hitting at .230 against left-handed pitching. Doesn't sound like much, but he was under .200 most of the year, and he's really picked it up with all the left-handers the Phillies have been seeing the last few days.
He's picked up almost 50 points. He was down there on the Mendoza line not that long ago.
Batting at .249 overall, coming into the game at .246. Cormier gets it over, 1-2. Cormier with a walk and 2 strikeouts thus far. 3-6-0 St. Louis, 1-3-0 Phillies in the 5th inning. Breaking ball missed, 2-2 to Mickey. Cormier, one of the many Cardinal pitchers that just don't walk many batters. Morandini can probably get a fastball here to hit. Cormier with just 12 walks, 71 innings coming into the game. Beaten on a couple of hops to Ozzie, and Smith throws him out, 1 away. And Danny Jackson, the batter, who sacrificed his first time up. Jackson, an .088 hitter with 18 strikeouts. Let's sacrifice his 5th of the year. Phillies will get a look at Rene Rocha tomorrow night, the Cuban exile. Defected from his homeland a couple years ago. Cardinals got him in a special lottery, and he's been pitching well. And Phillies will counter with Ben Rivera. Coming off a strong outing against the Braves. Jackson fouls another one off right side. There is Rocha.
Went to Miami for a baseball tournament, I believe, and didn't go home.
Decided to stay here. He was supposed to pitch an exhibition game against the Phillies at Oklahoma City at the end of the spring, but that game was rained out. Jackson hits it to deep right center. Witten can't get it. It's by him to the wall. Danny Jackson on his way to second. And Danny will have a stand-up double for Jackson, his 2nd double of the year. They were playing him really shallow, and he just ripped it by Witten.
Yeah, he had 2 strikes on him. Slider up over the plate. Even pitchers can hit that pitch once in a while.
Well, Jackson got a little sloppy last inning, and it cost him to Cormier, and now Cormier gives up a double to his opposite number as Witten gets it back in. And Dykstra, the batter. Lenny is struck out, grounded out. Dykstra 0 for 2 at 280. Lenny wanted to be hitting 300 by the end of June, and that, of course, now is unlikely, although he's had a good month. He's tailed off over the weekend. Dykstra needs 1 more hit to reach the 1,000 mark. Strike call to him. He's hitting .330 this month. Jackson, a good base runner, on at second base with 1 out. On deck is Amaro. And Cormier misses outside. A ball and a strike on Lenny Dykstra. The hit for the Phillies. They're 4th.
1,000 mark is a thrill. A lot of guys go into baseball thinking you're never going to get to it, but if you play enough, you do.
How about 2,000? How'd that feel?
Well, that was nice.
Now, if you had kept playing, you could have got 3,000 hits, don't you think?
Who knows? I reached almost 2,600. I got my 2,000th in Milwaukee. I remember that. I don't remember the 1,000th hit at all. I know I was 25 years old when I got it.
2-1 on Lenny. And Dykstra with a good eye. It's outside. So Cormier runs a deep count. 3-1 on Lenny Dykstra. Dykstra was 60 walks on the year, up in the top 10 in that category.
Phillies have first 3 players in the top 10 in walks.
This Cardinal staff makes you swing the bats, and Dykstra walks, a rare walk. So the Phillies now have 2 on for Amaro, and here comes Greg Jeffries in for a word with his pitcher. Pagnazzi also headed out towards the mound. Amaro doubled to right his first time up, and then patiently waited out a walk on a 3-2 pitch in the 3rd. Ruben was on base yesterday 4 times and also had a sacrifice. Here comes Joe Coleman, the pitching coach.
Joe Coleman Jr. His father was a...
Danny Jackson, the base runner, at second, and Lenny Dykstra on at first. 3-1 Cardinals here in the 5th. There's 1 out. The on-deck batter is Kruk. And there are your runners. And he goes away from him, gets a strike on the outside corner.
I believe that was his changeup. Made a good pitch.
They're in the 9th at Montreal. Montreal leads the Pirates 5-4. Smith has to back up on it, so they won't get the double play. Ozzie wanted to get that on the first hop, couldn't do it, made sure of one, so there are runners at the corners now with 2 outs.
Ozzie's made some errors this year, I believe 9, which is a lot, but he doesn't miss much. These are the guys that have to start hitting for the Phillies. Kruk, Dalton.
And Dave Hollins is back tonight. If you're just tuning in, Hollins in the on-deck circle. Kruk has grounded out twice tonight, both times to Smith as they play him to pull. Smith way over and Pena deep in the hole and in the outfield actually at second. Kruk got a fastball and swung through it. Kruk has been in a little mini slump and has never hit Cormier much. There's the defense as you see how they're playing him to pull. Not so in the outfield. And Cormier gets ahead of him 0-2. Kruk is really fighting himself right now, trying to get on track. Danny Jackson at third and Ruben Amaro on at first base with 2 outs.
Tried to get him to chase high and outside.
Cormier 3-0 with a 1.64 ERA against the Phillies last year. 3-1 lifetime. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Kruk.
Outside 5 or 6 inches.
Interesting the way they're playing the infield defense, and yet he's pitching him away. Kruk has a huge hole on the left side, as you see there. Well, he had him 0-2, and Kruk has gotten back to 3-2. Ruben Amaro will be off on the pitch. Greg Jeffries moves off him at first. And Hollins in the on-deck circle, just off the disabled list tonight. And Coleman's going to get to the bullpen phone, get the bullpen up. Amaro.
Welcome to the shore and welcome to Sunny 103.7 WMGM.
There's in scoring position.
I should stay.
3-1. Smith having a fine year. He's written off a couple years ago as going the other way, and that the Cardinals might even get rid of him, but he's still very, very productive.
To be an out with the bat. He never contributed much offensively, but that's changed.
Went to a strength coach a couple years ago, and it's really changed him. Jackson has had trouble with his control tonight. He's walked 3 and hasn't struck out anybody, and also run a number of deep counts. The 3-1 pitch to Smith, and it's over for a strike, full count. Greg Jeffries waiting on deck. He walks him. That's walk number 4. Cardinals are a team, you start walking them, they really give you a hard time because they have so many contact hitters.
They're not the running Redbirds the way they used to be, but they still do some running, and they do quite a bit of hit and running because they're contact hitters.
Ozzie stolen 9 bases in 11 attempts this year. Jeffries doubled off the glove of Duncan at short in the first inning and fly to center. Jeffries batting at .332. Strike. Jeffries coming into play today with the fifth best average in the league at .331, and now has an 11-game hitting streak with that first inning double. Jose De Leon, the former Cardinals, starting to loosen in the Phillies left field bullpen. Oh, they got Ozzie Smith picked off. Kruk to Duncan. Smith tried to fire the brakes on, and he just stuck in that mud out there. So that's a caught stealing. 1, 3, 6, and there's one out.
Yeah, he had a good lead. He just left too soon is all, and it's what you call a kind of a backup fadeaway slide.
He kind of planted himself, didn't he?
Yeah, he had no chance.
No balls and a strike on Jeffries, so the Phillies erase Ozzie Smith, which is good for them. Jeffries tomahawks a fly ball to a very shallow center field where Dykstra comes in, waits, 2 down. I don't think Jeffries throws quite as many tantrums as he used to when he was with the Mets, but they still he'll still fire a helmet or a bat once in a while.
Well, when you're hitting .330, you don't throw nearly as many. He's mad at himself there. He got himself out there. He chased a high pitch.
Yeah, he has quite a temper. Used to be fun to watch him when he'd go in the dugout. Zeal the batter, and Jackson gets the first pitch over for a strike. He has walked and grounded out. 2 outs, nobody on base in the 5th. Oh, and 2. There's Jeffries.
He loves to hit, and he is a good hitter from both sides of the plate. You know, you give the pitcher credit when they get you out. When you get yourself out, that's your own fault.
He could still throw some of the best tantrums in the league, though. He's still upset. Paul O'Neill was a good one, too. Unfortunately, O'Neill's now with the Yankees. Don't get to watch him anymore. Will Clark's another. Duncan gets a high hop, throws on the run, and gets Todd Zeal at first. So the Redbirds are gone here in the 5th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. We're through 5, and it's 3-1 St. Louis. Kim Batiste sitting there beside Ricky Jordan. What a fine job he did filling in for Dave Hollins, who's back. Batiste played excellent third base and also swung the bat well. Saying hi to people back home. Hollins has popped up foul both times tonight. A fine play by Pagnazzi, the catcher, as he slid into the dugout to catch it in the Cardinals dugout, and he popped up foul to Zeal at third. Hollins hit out here this afternoon in front of Dr. Marone. The Phillies activated him. He's batting 4th and playing 3rd tonight, and he bunts it. He used to do that a lot. Doesn't do that much anymore.
Not a bad idea to beat out a bunt to lead off an inning when you're down 2 runs.
Especially where he has Zeal playing.
Zeal is still back. He didn't come in.
Yeah, well, Zeal's not going to bite on that. You know, if he gets a base hit, he just hand it to him. He's going to stay back even with a strike.
His changeup comes down, breaks low. Hollins will get a couple base hits and feel like he's back in the flow.
Oh, yeah, as you said, obviously he's going to have some timing problems. 0-2 to Hollins. Takes it high and inside.
You'll see some pitchers try to go inside on Hollins because of his hand. You know, they think, well, he's back after only a couple weeks. That hand might not be quite strong as he'd like, and try to jam him.
2-2 to Hollins. Beats a foul off the plate. Collins said he was all right until he started to hit last week in Pittsburgh, and then he really got the itch to get back. He said he had accepted the fact he was going to be out of the lineup for a while, but then when he started to feel better, he was determined to do as much as he could to get back as fast as he could, and here he is. Ripped to center, right at Jordan, and he catches it. Collins hit a shot, and Jordan made a circus catch because he misjudged it, and there's one away. He's making a sign, Whitey, as if that ball knuckled on him.
Yeah, he went, wasn't really sure, but he did make a good catch after almost messing it up.
And then he came up and showed Ozzie Smith a little knuckleball sign. Anybody who's ever had a ball knuckle on him when they play know just what Brian Jordan just went through. Tough to catch it.
Yeah, they do knuckle once in a while.
Collins hit that ball right on the nose after fouling out twice. Dalton has hit 2 little top ground balls to Jeffries at first. He is 0 for 2 tonight, batting at .255. 1 out, nobody on here in the 6th. On deck batter is Incaviglia, who's accounted for the Phillies' only run in the ball game with a mammoth upper deck home run to left. Dalton didn't like that. It's 1-2.
Said it's outside. Was a little.
Jerry Davis, the home plate umpire tonight.
He'll go out there again. That time with a breaking ball.
And missed 2-2. Phillies looking for base runners. They trail it by 2 here in the 6th inning. Dalton, a hard ground ball. Nice play. Pena to his right, and he throws him out. Phillies have hit 2 balls on the nose in this inning. Cardinals with 2 good plays. 2 outs, nobody on, and Pete Incaviglia coming up, and here's what he did his last time at home plate.
The crack of that bat. Became a spectator there, just watching it. Did they give a distance on that home run?
Never saw one.
Tail of the tape?
Well, it was. It's a 400 pluser, that's for sure. Anytime you hit one in the upper deck in this ballpark. Incaviglia hits one to right field, down the line, foul and out of play. He hit one deep his first time up to right center, run down by Brian Jordan. Incaviglia checking his bat, and I think he's very upset to find that he broke that one. Look at that.
Hit it off the end of the bat.
Just hit a ball as far as he did last time up. You don't want to lose that bat.
He hit about 8.
Incaviglia fouls another one away right side. Out of play. Eric had a tough summer last year, working hard to get back. And it's good to have him back in the league.
Good umpire.
Yes, he is. A local boy from West Philly. 2 balls and 2 strikes now on Incaviglia. And Pete tires of waiting and steps out. Tries to check. Did he? Field at first. Yes.
Pete got a break there.
Yeah, it looked like he went on that, and Terry Tata said no. So the count's full now at 3-2.
See how far that bat goes. It went to the plate. Certainly, it was questionable.
And Cormier was ready to deliver the pitch, and then he thought about it and stepped off, and that makes Incaviglia step out. Foul towards the Phillies dugout and in there.
3-2 changeup. He evidently doesn't want to challenge Incaviglia with a fastball strike. At least he has shown that he doesn't want to challenge him. He's thrown him a slider and a changeup on the last 2 pitches.
Jim Fregosi looking on. That's Jeff Cooper in the background, Phillies trainer. Cavilla hits a high fly ball down the line. This one is also going to go foul and out of play. Cavilla's fouled off 5 or 6 pitches in this at bat. He's running into a red hot St. Louis ball club. Winners of 8 out of their last 10 and 16 out of 20. They've had an 18-6 June thus far.
Their pitching is really steadied, and pitching will decide this 4-game series.
3-2 now on Cavilla. That's a fastball you're talking about, and that's why he didn't want to throw him.
He got it up a little bit, and Pete really had a good swing at it. It was just a little high. Couldn't quite catch up to it.
See if Pagnazzi goes to something off speed now after that swing, even though the count's full. Yep, change up.
Fouled it.
Throw him a 3-2 changeup, foul it off.
It's a good changeup. It was down. He just got a little piece of his bat on it.
So Cavilla hanging in there with Cormier with 2 outs and nobody on. And they're going to go change up again to him. And they got him that time. Struck him out on a changeup, number 4 for Cormier. Phil's gone in order in the 6th. No runs, no hits, and nobody left on base. Cardinals still lead it 3-1 here in the 6th inning. Jordan fly ball to right down the line. Long run of Morrow, and Ruben makes a good play in foul territory. 1 away. Jordan now 1 for 3. There's Joe Coleman. Whitey talking to Cormier between innings.
Well, he had a pretty good inning. I don't know what he could be telling him.
Well, they're getting the bullpen up too. Les Lancaster is getting ready to start throwing down there. Brian Jordan has walk rounded into a double play. Jordan's going to kind of a crouching knock-knee type of stance. There's Lancaster, the former Cub, former Tiger.
Somebody has changed Jordan's style. He was hitting 370 at Louisville. Must have been working for him there.
Yeah, we noticed that when he came up first time tonight, because we saw him so much in spring training, and that's really a different stance he's employing. Brian Jordan playing in center field with Ray Langford out for the bad hand. It's on the DL. Lines it to right. Amaro's there. 2 down. Hit it right on the nose and right at the right fielder. The annual Phillies family autograph and auction party is scheduled for Monday night, August 2nd at 6 o'clock. All proceeds benefit ALS. It's always a fun night, good times, a lot of autographs, silent live auctions, fun and games. The tickets are on sale right now. Call 463-1000 or come on down to the Vet. There's a limited amount of tickets available, so don't get shut out. Make that call tomorrow. Come on down to the Vet and pick them up. Pena, the batter, rips one foul and out of play left side. Geronimo tonight is grounded out, then singled with 2 outs in the 4th and came around to score the 3rd Cardinals run on Cormier's hit. That's given the Cardinals a 2-run lead. They've led 2-0 and now 3-1. Payne, the better hitter from the right side. Pops it up foul out of play. Geronimo Pena out of the Dominican Republic, playing some second base this year along with Luis Alicea. Both of them switch hitters, one better right-handed, one better left. Jackson misses away, 1-2. Danny yet to strike out a batter tonight. He's walked 4. There is Alicea, the Florida State University graduate, former #1 pick of the Cardinals. Down low, 2-2.
Alicea is hitting 368 right, 312 left. That's not too shabby. And he has hurt the Phillies.
continue with a hard ground ball on one hop to Duncan. Fires to first. Got him. That'll do it. 1, 2, 3 go. The Cardinals in the 6th. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left. Harry DeKay back with Whitey in the 7th inning. 3-1 St. Louis.
Struck out and grounded out. Danny Jackson was finished for the ball game. He'll be taken out for a pinch hitter, but another good job by Jackson. He kept the Phillies in the game, which he has done all year except for one game. Every one of his starts, the Phillies have been in the game. Coming into this game, the Phillies had won 11 games out of his 15 starts. After giving up 2 in the first, he settled down.
The run that's going to bother him is the one he gave up in the 4th.
To Cormier, but Duncan starts it out with a shot to right center field. Dunk will get 2 on it. A stand-up double for Mariano Duncan. That'll bring on Mickey Morandini, and Ricky Jordan has moved into the on-deck circle.
Dunk took this pitch right where it was thrown, down and away. Put a great swing on it. Phillies have some extra base hits, 3 doubles and a home run out of their 5 hits.
Omar Olivares, Tom Urbani are the pitchers up in the Cardinal bullpen. Urbani, the left-hander. Mickey Morandini has singled and grounded out. Off the bat as if to bunt, took it high for a ball.
Mickey has a lot of room between third and short. Now he should be trying to pull the ball. That's probably why Ozzie Smith's so far over towards second.
Two balls and no strikes.
Morandini, a key hitter here. 2-0 count. Should get something pretty good to hit. Should be a fastball.
Takes a called strike.
Outside corner. Excellent pitch at 2-0. The good thing Mickey did there is he laid off the pitch. It wasn't what he was looking for in that part of the strike zone.
Bullpen ball is loose. Time called. 2 balls and 1 strike to Mickey Morandini. Duncan at second base. Nobody out here in the 7th. Phillies trail by 2, 3-1. He lines the ball to right field. It's caught by Whitten. Duncan was not tagged, so he'll hold on at second base. Whitten has a tremendous arm. Duncan, though, should have been tagged.
Yeah, he should have been tagged. Morandini did all he could do. He really stung it. Hard to right field. Whitten noticing that Duncan's still getting back to the bag, and with that great arm, Duncan then had no chance. He stayed home then, but he should have been tagged up.
Comes Joe Torre. This might be it. It is it. He'll call on the right-hander.
His job, he was in some trouble. Phillies never could get that other base hit to get him in more trouble.
Ricky Jordan is the pinch hitter. Ricky, a good lifetime hitter against this right-hander. 5 for 11. Duncan at second base with 1 out. Jordan hitting at .259. 2 homers. He's knocked in 4. As a pinch hitter, he is 4 for 22. Strike, 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike to Ricky Jordan. back up the middle. Duncan stays at second base. It's a base hit for Jordan. For some reason, Mariano Duncan stayed at second. I guess he thought Olivares might be able to make the play on the ball. It'll be an infield single for Jordan.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened, Harry. Olivares should have caught the ball. And had he caught the ball, then Duncan did the right thing. But after it went through, then he probably should have gone to third because he had time. See, look at Olivares now. He had his glove there, but he didn't catch it. Now there's where Duncan, after it got by the pitcher, should have gone to third. He got a rope tied around Mariano down there at second.
Here's Lenny Dykstra with 2 men on base, and he pops a foul out of play. Dykstra 3 for 9 lifetime against Olivares. Dude has struck out, grounded out, and walked. Phillies have 2 men on base with 1 out. Him up down the left field foul line. Ozzie Smith is there and makes the catch. So Dykstra is out. 2 down. It'll bring up Ruben Amaro.
Just haven't been able to get that extra hit.
Well, Phillies key hitters, Dykstra, Kruk, and Dalton collectively are 0 for 9 in this game, and when all 3 of them don't hit, then the Phillies have trouble scoring runs. Plus, this Cardinal pitching staff, Phillies has scored a lot of runs this year because they get on base so much, a lot of walks.
Easy play for Ozzie. Must have done something there to his leg, huh?
Yeah, yes. He had a long run for it. Here's a ground ball deep short. The Wizard throws out. Ricky Jordan to retire the side. For the Phillies in the 7th. No runs, 2 hits, no errors. 2 men left. Stretch time at Busch. We go to the...
Good catch by Duncan. Phillies have a run, 6 hits, no errors. Cardinals 3 runs, 6 hits, no errors.
Jose De Leon is the Phillies' new pitcher. This is his 18th game. He's had 1 start. Jose is 3-0 with a 4.05 ERA. He's pitched 26 2/3 innings, giving up 20 hits and 12 earned runs, 20 strikeouts, and 18 walks. Gerald Perry will come out as a pinch hitter for Omar Olivares. So it's Gerald Perry coming out with 1 out and no base runners. Perry hitting at .290. He's hit 2 homers, knocked in 6. Both of his home runs have come as a pinch hitter. He's 8 for 26 as a pinch hitter with those 2 home runs and 6 RBIs. He's done a good job coming off the bench. Left-hander up in St. Louis's bullpen is Rob Murphy. Let's pause for station identification on the Phil's television network.
You're watching Phillies baseball on WPHL TV, Philadelphia.
Here's Perry with 1 out and no base runners in the 7th inning. St. Louis leading it 3-1. Starts him with a breaking ball for a strike. Missing wide, 1 ball and 1 strike. To right field. So Perry is a 1 out base runner for Bernard Gilkey.
Perry does a good job as a pinch hitter, and once in a while they give him a spot start.
Gilkey is doubled, flied out, and lined out to right. Tossing inside, 1-0. Fouls it out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike. 1-1 to Bernard Gilkey. Breaking, swing and a miss. Dalton's throw is in time, and Perry is out at second base.
Perry had only tried 1 steal this year. He made it. He didn't make that one. Had a good jump, too. Must have been a hit and run. Gilkey chased a bad pitch. Duncan gets the tag on. And a very close play. Looked like he just had him.
Foul down the right field side, out of play. One ball and 2 strikes to Bernard Gilkey with 2 outs and no base runners. Straight back, still 1-2. Fregosi and Johnny Padres looking on. Out.
The fastball has been a good idea, but he hasn't thrown it over for a strike. He's thrown them outside. Looks like he had Gilkey kind of looking for the off-speed stuff.
Rounds of foul, still 3-2 to Bernard Gilkey with 2 outs and no base runners here in the bottom of the 7th. Ball on the ground to Mariano Duncan, and Gilkey is retired. So for the Cardinals in the 7th, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, none left. We go to the 8th. There's a new pitcher for St. Louis. This will be his 37th game. He's won 1, lost 4, no saves. His ERA is 3.23 in 30 2/3 innings. He's given up just 21 hits, but 11 earned runs. Struck out 21, walked 9. Murphy signed as a free agent by the Cardinals during the winter. Pitched at Houston last year. Veteran, 33 years of age, has pitched in the big leagues for Cincinnati, Boston, Seattle, Houston prior to coming here. John Kruk is 0 for 3, and he pops a foul back and out of play. St. Louis leading. We're in the 8th inning. The Cardinals get right-hander Mike Perez up in the bullpen. Ground ball slowed down by Murphy. Pena didn't get him. Infield single, Kruk. So Kruk legs it out for an infield single, and that'll bring on Dave Hollins.
Kruk really got down the line, bad legs and all. I think that was going to go through cleanly if Murphy hadn't slowed it. Well, that was close, but he did beat it.
That'll bring on Dave Hollins. Hollins has fouled out twice and lined out to center.
This is where Hollins really makes a difference in the lineup, being a switch hitter.
High towering fly to left field. Bernard Gilkey waiting, makes the grab. One down, and that'll bring on Darren Dalton.
Dave just went after a high pitch. He got good part of the bat on it, but it was just too high to get the meat on it.
Dalton has grounded out all 3 times that he has been up.
Murphy's here just for Dalton.
Yeah. Won't let Murphy pitch to the man on deck, Pete Incaviglia. Mike Perez up. One ball and no strikes to Darren Dalton. David West is up in the Phillies bullpen. Fouls it out of play, a ball and 2 strikes. John Kruk at first base with 1 down. 8th inning, Phillies trailing by 2 here.
Close.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Struck him out. That's 2 down, and that'll bring on Pete Incaviglia, and that'll bring Joe Torre out of the dugout.
And Dalton on a high fastball.
Torre will call on the right-hander Perez. Home run. And struck out. Cardinals lead. We're in the 8th inning. Breaking ball for a strike. Palmer Bandy, the left-hander, Les Lancaster, the right-hander. Incaviglia fouls that one out of play. No balls and 2 strikes. Nothing and 2 to Pete Incaviglia. Missing with a breaking ball, 1 and 2. With another breaking ball, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Trying to get him to chase that low outside pitch. He's made it put a little too far outside.
Incaviglia is called out on strikes. Slider on the outside corner. Incaviglia not happy with the call and will retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It's 3-1 St. Louis. Tomorrow now playing left field. Jim Eisenreich comes into play right, and David West is the new pitcher for the Phils here in the bottom of the 8th. Ozzie Smith takes one low. Ozzie has a bunt single, has grounded out and walked. Fouls it out of play, 1-1. West appearing in his 31st game, 1 win, 2 losses, 2 saves, a 2.92 ERA. 31 hits in 37 innings, averages better than a strikeout per inning, 40 strikeouts and 20 walks. 2-1. Lee Smith will try to get another save this month, it looks like. Big guys up in the Cardinal bullpen. Ozzie hits it to left center field. Ruben Amaro there. Ozzie Smith is retired, 1 down. That'll bring up Greg Jeffries. Jeffries has doubled and twice flied to center. Well, now there's a brand new part season ticket plan. See all the National League teams once after July 1st. 13 games in all. You can pick 1 game from each of the remaining series. Then you get the benefits of being a season ticket holder. Plus, you'll be first on the list to pick your permanent seats for 1994. Don't miss out on this second chance to be a Phillies season ticket holder. Call the Phillies sales office at 463-5000. 1 strike to Jeffries. In the dirt, a ball and a strike.
Dave Hollins has not had a fielding chance tonight.
That's right. It's amazing.
They're wondering a little bit about his ability to throw the ball. It was the right hand that was operated on.
Hit to deep center, but there's a lot of room in this center field, and Lenny Dykstra makes the catch right in front of the warning track. 2 down. It'll bring up Todd Zeile. Zeile's walked and twice grounded out. David West on here for Jose De Leon, who pitched 1 inning, a shutout ball, gave up a hit, no runs. Chases a low pitch to Zeile. Hit in the air to center field, and Lenny Dykstra is there. 1-2-3 inning for David West. No runs, hits, errors, and none left. We go to the 9th inning. St. Louis leading 3-1. Already set a record for saves in a month with 14. We'll try to pick up number 15 in this month of June. Smith's appearing in his 34th game. 2 wins, 1 loss. The Phillies hung that lone loss on him and a grand slam by Duncan at Veterans Stadium. His ERA is 3.73. He's pitched 31 in the 3rd innings, 27 hits and 13 earned runs, 29 strikeouts and 7 walks. Leads the league with 28 saves, and as I mentioned, 14 of them in this month of June.
He didn't even take his not required, but he has the privilege of throwing 10 warm-up pitches. He only threw 6. Throws a lot of sliders now with his fastball. He used to be just a power pitcher, but now he mixes in a lot of sliders.
Cardinals are coming off an 8-2 road trip, and Smith got a save in each one of those 8 wins. Mariano Duncan, the man who did him in at Veterans Stadium for his only loss, a grand slam homer off him, will lead off. 1 ball and no strikes. Two and nothing. Duncan surprising in that he's a right-hand hitter and usually tears up left-hand pitching. Lifetime against Lee Smith is 8 for 15, including that home run. It's over for a strike. 2-1 to Mariano Duncan, who was 1 out of 3. It was a double.
Dent moving some fielders.
Line drive right field, but Whitten's right there. Duncan out on a liner to right, 1 down. It'll bring up Mickey Morandini.
Phillies have to get a base runner for any shot at all.
Morandini is 1 for 3 with a single. One strike to Morandini. Ground foul down the first base side. No balls and 2 strikes to Mickey Morandini. Jim Eisenreich waits on deck. One to take, 1-2.
Close to that inside corner. I'd have been lucky he didn't get called out.
Ball and 2 strikes to Mickey Morandini. He struck him out. That's 2 down. It's up to Eisenreich to keep the game alive. Eisenreich hitting at .346. This is his first at bat in this game. Had a 13-game hitting streak, called it yesterday when he pinch hit and grounded out. Strike to Eisenreich. A little bit wide, 1-1. Eisenreich does keep the game alive with a base hit to left field. And that'll bring on Lenny Dykstra. Dykstra's 0 for 3 with a walk.
Good piece of hitting by Eisenreich. Took that fastball that was out away from him and smoked it into left field. Greg Jeffries and Eisenreich, former teammates, and Jeffries was kind of pummeling Eisenreich as he was on first. Teammates with Kansas City.
So it brings on Lenny Dykstra, and Milt Thompson has moved into the on-deck circle. If Dykstra reaches, Milt would bat for Ruben Amaro. Fly ball right field. It's deep, but Whitten has room and makes the catch, and this game is over. For the Phillies in the ninth, no runs, a hit, no errors, one left. Lee Smith with his 29th save and his 15th in this month of June, an all-time major league record for saves in a month. Good pitching by the Cardinals as they take the first game of this series by a score of 3-1. We'll be back with the totals and a recap in just a moment.